ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of the 16th chapter of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha from the pages of Poojya Swamiji's, Poojya Swami Dayananda Saraswati's Gita home study course. The title of this important chapter is Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. This chapter highlights those qualities that are to be very carefully and scrupulously cultivated in our antahkaranam, and those values that need to be uprooted totally from our personalities. This is akin to the process of gardening. Just as gardening requires preparation of the ground, not only the preparation of the ground in which fresh seeds or fresh crops are to be sown, but it also involves weeding out the unwanted plants that will hinder the growth of those beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers that we wish to nurture and grow. One needs to look at cultivating our minds using this analogy. It will be very useful and interesting to apply ourselves to the process. Why this chapter is considered important by all our acharyas is something that we need to also look at. In fact, Puja Swamiji, Puja Swami Dayananda Saraswathi, strongly recommends that a student must be exposed to chapters 16 and 17 comprehensively before he or she begins studying the main topics of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha. All our acharyas in the tradition, without exception, in one way or the other, emphasize the need to cultivate a good value system. Cultivating these values lay a strong foundation, prepare our antahkaranams for the important journey of Jnana Yoga. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong if I say that these values are the gateways to moksha through jnanam. It is very important that we spend a lot of time in studying these values and take our time to cultivate them judiciously, conscientiously, by following if we remember by following Swami Paramarthananda's 5 methods of cultivating these virtues or values mentioned in not only the 13th chapter but also here in the 16th, and those that will be mentioned in the 17th chapter too. Let us quickly recall what Swami Paramarthananda suggests as methods to cultivate these Daivi Sampats. The first of the 5 methods is Viveka. To understand clearly what one would gain when one cultivates these important values and what one stands to lose if one doesn't. If this is clear, then It will directly influence our commitment to work on these values and make them our own. So, Viveka is the first method. Then, Swamiji suggests Sankalpa. Swamiji suggests Sankalpa. Sankalpa meaning that I will determine to commit myself to developing these virtues in my antahkarana. Sankalpa. Then he suggests Pratipaksha Bhavana. Pratipaksha Bhavana. To constantly generate the opposite positive thought process, to counter the negative thought processes that have been hitherto running in our minds. We were looking at this in the context of the first value, Abhayam. During the discussion of which Poojya Swamiji said that Pratipaksha Bhavana can be looked at as antibodies to generate the opposite thought of Bhayam with understanding, of course, with Viveka. Whenever a thought of fear, a thought of I will die surfaces in our minds, Poojya Swamiji suggested that we should counter it by understanding what dies and what doesn't die and generate suitable thoughts to counter the negative thought that arises in our minds. This countering the negative thoughts is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. This is the third one, third method of cultivating Daivi Sampat. Then the fourth method suggested by Swami Paramarthananda is Satsanga. Satsanga. When we associate with Mahatmas, with people given to Satviki ways of having good values, good thoughts, their thoughts, words, and deeds are all Satviki. By the law of association, when we associate with such Mahatmas, we are bound to imbibe their traits over a period of time. So, this is Satsanga. And the fifth method that Swamiji suggests is Ishvara Prarthana. Ishvara Prarthana, a very important and critical method in which we directly pray to Ishvara to lend us a helping hand in helping us to practice Daivi Sampat and to help us steady ourselves in the practice of Daivi Sampat, not only studying ourselves, but also steady the Daivi Sampats in our Antakaranams. Ishvara Prarthana becomes very significant because we must understand that all these sattva gunas, rajo gunas, and tamo gunas are within the domain of Maya. Although we intend to grow out of tamoguna and rajoguna and station ourselves in sattva-guna, there is every possibility of some trait in our subconscious mind which is rajo or tamo guna driven to surface and can very easily disturb our satviki antakaranam. That is why Lord Krishna in the 7th chapter said, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. The second line is very significant. Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Prayer to Ishvara is definitely called for, not only to help us remain steady in Sattvaguna, but also to see to it that we don't get stuck in Sattvaguna. Sattvaguna is not the end of the journey. Sattvaguna is only a means to an end. We have to reach Sattvaguna and go beyond Sattvaguna. We have to use Sattvaguna to go beyond Sattvaguna. We have to become Gunatita. We have to claim our Gunatita nature through Jnana Yoga. We will pick up the thread of this wonderful discussion in the upcoming capsules and take our study forward. Hari Om.